Good evening, everyone. This week we're going to speak about the idea of chesed ve'emes. Chesed and emes. We know the story of Moshe Rabbeinu floating down the river, and Bas Paroi, the daughter of Paroi, comes and retrieves Moshe Rabbeinu. And the interesting sequence of events, it says she retrieves the basket, opens it, and she sees a crying baby inside. She has pity on him, and she realizes he's one of the Jews. Right? Miyaldehu Ivrim Zeh. He's one of the Jews. It's interesting. Normally I would expect that the Torah to be a little different. Right? The sequence would be she opened the basket, she saw the baby, she recognized that he was Jewish, she heard him cry, right? And then she had pity on him. But here, she opens the box, right away, she has pity on the child. It's interesting, Reb Nosson Alpert shared this insight on this pasuk, on the eulogy of Reb Moshe Feinstein. And he said by the eulogy of Reb Moshe Feinstein, by the Hesped, he said, you know, Reb Moshe Feinstein used to give haskamas on Sfarim, right? He used to give an haskama, and he used to give many, many haskamas. He approved many books that came to him. If a person authored a book, he would come and show Rabbi Moshe Feinstein the book, and Rabbi Moshe Feinstein would write him a beautiful letter, a beautiful haskama, a beautiful approval. And after a while, people complained that anybody that comes to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, they're all getting approvals. So it began to be a little cheaper in people's eyes. All of a sudden, people were not machshav it as much. And people started to complain to Rav Moshe, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And Rav Alpert said in his eulogy, why was Rav Moshe doing this? Because he said he was going by the pasuk, chesed ve'emes yichu paravan. Which means to say, there's two things here. There's emes. Emes is complete truth. And then there's chesed. He says if we would go first for emes v'chesed, first you want truth, and then you'll do chesed, nobody will ever do chesed in their lives. There will be no organization in the world that will stand by and say we do a perfect job if we're just looking for emes. There will be no poor person that will be able to tolerate our scrutiny and be able to get money out of us. If we just go by emes, then chesed will never occur. Because when are you going to do chesed? If the guy's perfect, you'll never. We're human beings. You'll never get a perfect organization. You'll never get a perfect person. You'll never get the perfect tzedakah. You'll never get the perfect scenario. And therefore, first comes the chesed, then comes the emes. Where do we see this? We see this by Bas Paroi. Bas Paroi, as she opens up this teva, she opens up this box, what does she see? She sees a crying baby. What could go through her mind? Who is this baby? Where is he from? What is he doing here? What? All of a sudden, you could have 1,000 questions. But no. What does she do right away? Well, I have a baby crying. If I have a baby crying, I'm first going to take care of him. It's very interesting. Somebody once told me, how do you see if a friend is a true friend? If he wants to do a favor with you. He says, look, sometimes you get a call in the middle of the night. Listen, I'm on my last quarter. I need your help. Could you please come? I have a flat tire. He says, if the guy starts asking you questions, what happened? How did you get stuck? What are you doing here in the middle of the night? You know the guy's not your friend. You know the guy is not into chesed. The only question he should ask you is, where are you? That's it. Where are you? Anything more than that, automatically you're delaying the chesed. You're just stalling for time to think about an excuse why you can't make it there. Bas Paroi was the other way around. As soon as she saw the baby, there was no who he is, where does he come from, can I attend to him, maybe he's a Jewish child, maybe this is going against my father, maybe, She could have had a litany of questions. She chose to jump in right away. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein felt that this was his job as a manhig. As a leader, it wasn't his job to ask questions. Yeah, he checked if something looked terrible or not, but if he was able to do the chesed, if there's any way that he could do the chesed, then that's what he wanted to do, without asking questions. It says by Avraham Avinu, it says that we start the bracha, the first bracha, right? Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. And what did we end with? Baruch Atah Hashem Mogen Avraham. What happened to Baruch Atah Hashem Mogen Yitzchak, Yaakov? What happened to them? So the Gemara says that Avraham Avinu, B'chol Choismin, with you we're going to close. With you we're going to end. I saw a beautiful pshat. What does it mean, B'chol Choismin? With you we're going to end. It means that throughout history, there's going to be a time for chesed. There's going to be a time for gvura. That's Yitzchak's time. There's going to be a time for Torah. That's Yaakov's time. But you know with who we're going to end off history with? B'chol Choismin, Baruch Atah Hashem Mogen Avraham. Meaning to say, what's going to get us over the top is going to be the chesed. If we have that chesed, we're going to get to the top and we're going to get to Mashiach's time. So let's remember that when we have an opportunity to do a chesed, don't ask so many questions. Just ask where and how. That's it. How can I do it? And where do I got to be? Because at the end of the day, remember, B'chol Choismin, with Avraham Avinu, that's how we're going to end off history. Of course, we need a Yaakov. Of course, we need a Yitzchak. But it's going to be Mogen Avraham. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the shield of Avraham Avinu.